Hello everyone, I'm Zuoyuan Zhang, and my research question is on learning about bioremediation, opportunities and challenges of bioremediation compared to other technologies for soil remediation. This is a project mentored by Emily, and this video is for the Polygence Symposium on September the 21st, 2024. About me, my Chinese name is Zuoyuan Zhang and my English name is Tony. I'm from Hebei Province, China. I'm a grade 11 student from Shanghai International High School of Bands who's interested in environmental science, biology, and chemistry. The reason why I'm interested in this topic because I want to apply the knowledge I learned from the textbook to solve some real-world issues like soil pollution. Why is this topic important? Firstly, because of the widely polluted environment, including natural and anthropogenic sources. And the second one is the special treatment method for heavy metals, especially phytoremediation. And the third one is there are many advantages. There are many advantages of different approaches of bioremediation, including cost-effective, sustainable, and flexible, etc., which we will talk about later in this presentation. The methods I used on my essay and presentation include a literature review to understand the current background knowledge and concerns, and comparative analysis to understand similarities and differences between methods, as well as the benefits and concerns. And the third one is case examples to understand how successful phytoremediation has been in practice and what challenges it has faced. And about today's presentation, there will be three parts. The first is overview on bioremediation. The second is comparison between methods, and the third one is examples on phytoremediation. Let's come to the first part, an overview. And about bioremediation, what is bioremediation? Bioremediation is a process of using living organisms to degrade pollution and can be carried out both in situ and ex situ. How long has it been around? Literally, bioremediation is a natural process, so it has been there since plants exist. Actually, the period is since 1992, may be called the establishment period of bioremediation. During this time, bioremediation has achieved a certain level of acceptance with more realistic expectations than earlier, but the level of interest and attention has decreased considerably until more field applications has been carried on. Why to talk about it today? As for the advantages and benefits of bioremediation, I will talk about it later in the presentation. Remediation can be categorized into two sections, including in situ and ex situ approaches. In situ bioremediation entails the microbial breakdown of contaminants directly within the subsurface soil and water matrix, without the need for soil excavation. While in contrast, ex situ technologies involve excavating the contaminated soil for treatment, either on-site or off-site. Listed some in situ technologies that are common in practice. The first one is bioventing. Bioventing involves the control of airflow to deliver oxygen and moisture through air injection well into the unsaturated soil zone and accelerate bioremediation by increasing the rate of microbial activities. Biosparging is also an in situ method, which is similar to bioventing. However, the most significant difference from bioventing is that it involves injection of oxygen and nutrients into the saturated groundwater zone that filled with water, and the injected air therefore mobilizes some water, makes the saturated zone aerated, and the pollutant can exit the saturated zone, finally enter the unsaturated zone again. Phytoremediation, the main content that we're going to talk about today, is an in situ bioremediation technique utilized plants to absorb pollutants from soil. So there are many mechanisms of um, phytoremediation, include phytoextraction, phytodegradation, phytostabilization, rhizofiltration, and phytovolatilization. These process is um, different mechanism when um, a plant process the pollutant and then volatilize the pollutant in a gas form and release it to the atmosphere. And here I also want to mention history and development of phytoremediation. Phytoremediation is initially considered an oddity in the 1990s, and it gained recognition in the early 2000s when the study demonstrated its efficacy. So there are also some ex situ solutions. First is biopile. Biopile involves nutrient and aeration amendment to soil pile so that microbial activity can be enhanced and waste will be extracted through a pipe. Land farming is really simple. It involves spreading the contaminated soil in a thin layer on the ground and add nutrients to accelerate bioremediation. Bioreactor refers to a device or system to cultivate microorganisms and provide an optimal and regulated environment for cell growth, aims to provide an optimal yield for bioremediation. It is also considered as an experiment. So the most important part is the comparison between methods. Advantages and disadvantages will be focused on this part. So the first one is bioventing. This method has its popularity and pervasiveness among other in situ solutions, especially to remediate the petroleum polluted soil, with the conditions of relatively high permeability of soil, suitable soil temperature, pH, and moisture. The cost of bioventing, according to EPA, is about 45 to 140 ton per ton of contaminated soil, and it's easy to install and relatively short treatment time between 6 months to 2 years in optimum conditions. The other advantages of bioventing are obvious, including relatively little disturbance to the environment. It can be installed even under the office buildings, and the availability of making combination with other technologies. Biosparging are the pros of biosparging are also included in the bioventings, in addition to no additional treatment for groundwater, including removal or discharge and few needs for vapor capture due to a low injection rate. And for biopile, biopile usually target petroleum and fuel contaminated soil. Since biopile is really a simple method, it costs only 30 to 90 per ton of contaminated soil and only lasts a relatively short period of time. One of the unique advantages is that it can be designed to a closed system by adding a gap so that vapor emissions could be eliminated. Its flexibility can benefit treating different situations with different site conditions. Well, land farming is the simplest method and is very similar to biopile to a very large extent, and its benefits are quite the same as bioventings. Both can treat organic constituents with low biodegradation rates. It only costs 30 to 90 per ton of contaminated soil. And then about phytoremediation. Phytoremediation's uniqueness can be widely presented when treating heavy metals, radioactive waste, and organic pollution in soil. The application of phytoremediation is very easy, simple to manage, and cost effective. Only 20 to 40 ton per ton of waste removed. And it can be considered as an automatic system powered by solar energy, which only involves in planting. So it's very sustainable, eco-friendly, and has a really low maintenance cost compared to other methods. And different plans can be applied to tackle issues under different situations. For example, some of the um, some of the types of pollutants different plants can remediate are offered below. However, not all plants can absorb the heavy metals and filter soil and groundwater. The hyperaccumulator plants, which describes plants that are capable of surviving and growing on the contaminated soil to accumulate heavy metals inside. Hence, the choice of hyperaccumulation plants that are resistant to heavy metals should follow some standards, including having high growth rate, strong and complex root system, high production of biomass, good transportation ability from roots to shoots, and it also should be resistant not only to heavy metals but also to pests and herbivores, as well as the changeable climate conditions. So compared with other approaches mentioned before, it's obvious that phytoremediation, unlike other methods, have complicated machinery and facilities and high maintenance costs, unlike some ex situ methods like biopower and land farming, which requires additional fees and time for excavation and prevention of pollutants escaping. Phytoremediation is much easier, sustainable, and cost-effective. However, there are still some drawbacks of phytoremediation. One of the most significant ones is the long period of treatment time. So this is a sheet I made from my essay. Aspects of comparisons between different methods include target, pollution, site conditions, advantages and disadvantages, cost range, removing efficiency, and negative impacts on the environment. And here is a more specific ones that compares the site conditions of different remediation methods. So the third part is about some examples on phytoremediation. The first one is actually an experiment on soil pollution. It located in wastewater treatment plants in Greece and Ukraine, and laboratory testing of selected plant species and estimation their efficiency for future phytoremediation in situ. And there are two conclusions, and the first one is the sludge rich in organic matter is a good medium for all plant species because it can give it high biomass production. And the second conclusion is that the accumulation of metals in roots would affect immobilize the metals for a certain period of time, therefore reducing the risk of contamination by inhibiting the circulation of these pollutants in the environment. It is very important for the perennial plants. The second example is actually a field application. It is located in Magic Marker site and Fort Dix in New Jersey. The application of Magic Marker demonstrate a phytoremediation treatment of lead in surface soil, and the Fort Dix demonstrate the ability of phytoremediation treatment to reduce lead concentrations in soil and foliar soil washing. The results of this field application include a 17% reduction in dry weight soil lead concentrations was achieved. And the average lead concentration in the treated soil surface, in the surface soil, it was 182 milligrams per kilogram. And the average lead concentration in the treated subsurface soil, 6 to 12 inches in depth, was 398 milligrams per kilogram. And the third one is actually an experiment on aquatic pollution. It is located in a dam in South Africa, and experiments are conducted aimed at determining the ability to remediate nutrients in water in the dam using water hyacinth. The conclusion are drawn like water quality doesn't have impacts on neither plant's growth nor its removal rates of nutrients. And water quality has an influence on phosphate removing rate, but no significant change on nitrogen removing rate. So water hyacinth does have an effect on efficiency of removing nutrients. So it can be a good example of bioremediators. So, based on the cases we discussed before, conclusions can be drawn like a lot of academic scholarship, um, research in lab, field science to understand fire remediation mechanisms uh, have been conducted, and to study the best plants to use, the degradability of chemicals, the timeline of photosynthesis, photo remediation, etc. However, there are not really many cases of using it in practice, so fire remediation still needs a lot of field applications to demonstrate that it's effective. Fire remediation takes a really long time, so even though it's cost effective, the developers might be more interested in an expensive, source intensive option to treat the soil contaminants. So the post-remediation management are always required because the plants after fire remediation contain lots of heavy metals. The common methods for post-bioremediation treatment include incineration, direct disposal, ashing, and liquid extraction. Finally, I want to mention something that I learned from this research experience with Polygence. About the research process, what is most helpful or challenging is that it's the first time of writing an academic essay by myself. So thanks to my helpful and friendly mentor, Emily, who helped me a lot in organizing essay structure, providing me with academic resources, and always gave me support when I need. And for what this project or topic might lead to, I think this opportunity would give me experience with research writing um, and help me to explore further on the topic that I'm interested in. So that's all about my presentation. Thanks for listening and hope you have a nice day.